This is a 1973 Camaro. It's a recently driver restored vehicle, and it's just a great driving car. You hear the transmission just shifts perfect. The engine runs great. The collector gasket on the left side where the header connects to the exhaust needs to be replaced. So it's got a little tiny exhaust leak right there by the connector gasket, where the collector gasket is. So the cars drive super straight. Of course, power steering, power disc brakes. It's a great daily driver car. Speedometer works, odometer work. It's got some aftermarket gauges here. They work properly. A couple of the gauges in the dashboard would need to be replaced if you wanted them to work. The fuel gauge is not working. The sending unit needs to be replaced. The temp gauge in the dash is not working. Really nice sounding exhaust. Just a very small cam in a mild rebuild on the engine. Like I said, you can hear that exhaust leak just right here. It's that collector gasket, is what I think it is. I know I said that before. Four-core aluminum radiator, auxiliary transmission cooler, of course, up here too. Two-piece valve covers, which are very cool. Got a new intake. I mean, this engine was just put together. It's got low miles on a rebuild. The transmission shifts like perfect. Really nice and clean under here. No rust. This is one spot of rust that I found on the entire car. I wish I could call it a completely rust-free car, but I'll show you in a minute where there is the one spot. Retains the original body tag here. So, like I said, super clean. I mean, just nice inner fender wells, really clean under the hood. It's got a beautiful driver quality paint job on it. This is not a show car. Split bumpers on the front, beautiful. Brand new billet grille too on it, and that just looks really sharp, brand new. Bumpers in the front are brand new as well. Boyd Coddington wheels, super sharp. And let me just double check. Oh yeah, those are 17s. And I believe those are 9s in the front and 11s in the back. Really sharp set of wheels. Nice meaty tires. They're brand new tires on the front and rear. They match. Just a nice big chrome lip there, or aluminum lip, I guess. They are aluminum wheels. That's an expensive set of Boyd Coddington wheels. Super nice. The rear bumper appears to be original. Has a little bit of pitting and scratching on it. Very presentable, but not new. The body is very straight. Paint looks really nice. It's not perfect. It's got a couple of little imperfections in it, but the stripes are perfect. As you run your finger over, you can't feel the stripes at all, which is really nice. Base coat, clear coat, just a metallic in the silver. Very sharp. Couple of imperfections as I go around the car. I'm going to try and eagle eye it. There's one spot here just below the door. I'm trying to show right there. And I mean, other than that, I can't remember seeing anything. I've got the trunk pop. I forgot to push it down earlier. I think that's actually it. So there's that one spot on the bottom of the passenger side door. Oh yeah, here too. just going around the front, around the grill. Just you could tell where they were putting the new, where they put the new billet grill in. They probably scratched the paint a little bit there, and a little bit of touch up, and the car would look really sharp. Since I've got the trunk popped, we'll go ahead and take a look in there. It's a very clean, rust-free. No rust, no holes. That's an original floor pan or trunk pan in there. And then of course the back of the trunk too. It's got the original jack instruction stickers on it, which look really cool. Or original repopped, I guess, remanned. It does have the Z28 badging on it, which is kind of a cool, you know, Z28 clone, I guess, if you want to call it that. You can hear the door open. It probably needs to be greased up. Door panels are presentable, but you know, if you wanted the car to look super nice, there's some things you'd want to do to it. One of them is probably put new door panels on. Got a little crack here on the plastic. The piece here where there's supposed to be like a chrome, you know, inlay, and it's just kind of peeling off where you can see the plastic. The dash cap appears to be new or newer. Maybe not new, but newer, or maybe it was dyed or redone, because it's really shiny. Actually, now that I'm taking a closer look, I don't think it's new, because there's a couple of spots here you can see. The gauge cluster and the dash have a little tiny gap here. You know, just little stuff like that that you know you'd want to touch up to just take it to the next level. One thing too is it's got a brand new Kenwood CD player with Bluetooth, which is really nice. It's got a great sounding stereo in it. So it's got a good stereo in it, which is nice. It's got newer seats out of like a 90s model Camaro, and I have the original seats for it. They need to be reupholstered. If it was my car, I'd probably reupholster the original seats and put them back in here. The original seats can go with the car if you want them. These are super comfortable seats, in some ways maybe more comfortable than the originals. You can see too, actually, while we were cleaning the car, we accidentally pulled off the rear view mirror, so it needs to be reinstalled. But the glass is all in good shape, or the windshield's in really good shape. Weather stripping looks nice. There's a typical F-body scratches on the driver's side window. Unfortunately, most of the Camaros I've had, even when we put new glass in them, I don't know why, but they always scratch here. So it's kind of hard to see, but that's the only spot that's scratched. I think on the other side it's fine. Headliner appears to be in good condition, and the seats are in good condition. They're a little dingy on the driver's side, but overall they're in good condition. If it was me, I'd put a new carpet kit in it. Costs about $110 on eBay, or carpet, you know, places where I get my carpet. This is an original AC car, but it doesn't have their AC all hooked up. But if you'll take a look under the hood, when you look at those pictures or that part of the video where I showed under the hood, you can see that all the air conditioning components are there. So that's really nice. So I mentioned earlier that I saw a couple of spots of rust. Just show you real quick. Here you got a nice clean floor pans. They're original. Flowmaster exhaust. The car is in just really solid. Look at those rockers. Nice and clean rockers. They're very solid. So here's the one spot of rust that I've seen in the whole car. Here, there appears to be a little bit of crusty, kind of just a little bit of rust here on the subframe connector. Or I mean on the subframe, I'm sorry. It's not subframe connectors, but on the subframe. Not rusted all the way through. Not, you know, not like unsolid. In fact, if I put my finger on the inside like I'm doing now, I can tell that it's not rusted on the inside, but just a little grimy there. Maybe also too, possibly before the exhaust was put on or something, may have scraped, you know, as if it be the vehicle being lowered, and then gotten a little bit of water on it, obviously, and then rusted a little bit. That's not rust that I'm concerned about. I don't believe that it's structural, and I don't believe it's compromises structural integrity. And it's the only spot of rust that I've seen on the car. Other than that one spot there, I believe there's just a little bit on the other side too. Other than that, I don't see any other rust in the car at all. Body's straight, there's no bubbles. I Unfortunately, it does look like somebody jacked up here, and I see that. It's common, it's unfortunate, but people jack up on the body right there and dent that piece of the rocker up. I hate that. Same thing here, just a little superficial rust. And then the floor pans are in good shape. Frame here is good. A couple of little spots of rust on the floor pan. Other than that, your inner fender wells are all in great shape. So like I said, this is what I would consider to be a very minimal rust car. And honestly, I get it up on the lift and clean. You could probably hit that with a wire wheel, clean it up, and put some POR 15 on it and call it a day. I don't believe there's anything structural there to be concerned about. And especially, you know, you can tell by looking at the whole rest of the car. I mean, you just got a nice clean fender wells. You've got a nice clean straight car. There's no rust bubbles. There's no bubbles coming up. Oh, there is one other spot. Obviously, when they were painting it, adjusting the door, it looks like they just got a couple of little nicks on the edges here, and I've seen that before. It's unfortunate. You know, they came back and touched it up with a brush, because to do it right, you'd have to go back in, sand it down, spot that back in. A lot of times for a driver quality paint job, guys just aren't doing that. They just want to drive the car. So I think it's a little bit unfortunate, but a couple $100 at the paint shop and some touch up on that one spot there in the door, and the paint would look fantastic. I mean, the paint looks awesome aside from just a couple of little imperfections. Interior is very presentable. Overall, very presentable car. Super sharp, looks awesome running down the road. I think somebody's gonna have a real fun time with this thing.